Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hot Mic. I'm your host, Des Nicholson, and here today we're going to break down the 2022 Dallas Cowboys NFL schedule. I know everyone's been pumped about this. It obviously released on May 12th at 8 p.m., so I wanted to make sure to get a video as soon as possible doing my record prediction on how I think the Cowboys are going to do this year. Are we going to do better than 11 and I think it was 11 and 6, as I think I remembered because we do have 17 games instead of 16 games. And this is basically going to see and determine if the Cowboys are going to do well. So we're going to go by literally by week. So the first week, or the first opponent we're going against is on Sunday Night Football, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now in Central Time it'll be 7:20 p.m., but I'm in Eastern Standard Time, so it'll be 8:20 p.m. on um, Sunday Night Football, which should be yet again a fun game. Um, if Tom Brady didn't come back, this could have been an easy to me automatic win for the Cowboys. I don't think it would have been like a blowout by any means if Brady wasn't there, but it would have been a pretty solidified win if we didn't have Brady. But now we have to count Brady in the mix. And so, since Brady is in the mix and they were able to get some pieces back, but not all the pieces, I still think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by having Brady just alone, I think still makes them a contender. And it's just all about getting healthy and, reloading. So I still see the Cowboys losing this game with Brady. If they didn't have Brady, we would be winning. But my record prediction, I do a score prediction as well. So my score prediction is Tampa's going to win 27, and the Cowboys will lose by 20. So Tampa 27, Dallas 20. Then week two, we go against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now we are at home. Both Tampa and Cincinnati are both at home. I still just don't see us winning this game. I mean, the Bengals had obviously come off a Super Bowl year, and they have built a lot of pieces on that offensive line. They have definitely, I think, really reloaded and still have a lot of potential with Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase, I think, has nothing but going up. They got T. Higgins. They got a new corner for the defense. I just don't see a scenario where the Cowboys are going to really be winning this game. So, yet again, it's going to be rough, but I think we're going to start out 0-2. Cincinnati 30, Dallas 20. The New York Giants, which I can confidently say is going to yet again be, I think, a win. Even though this is in New York, I think we have some pretty good history of beating the Giants. Uh, the Giants really didn't do much to where I think they could be a contender. Now, that doesn't mean by any means by the next 2 to 3 years that they could be a contender. I just think right here, right in this moment, I don't think the Giants are planning on having a blowout season by any means. And I think this could be a formidable win by the Cowboys. So I can see the Cowboys beating the New York Giants 24-14. Washington Commanders at home. This, we have always had a very good, notorious history of beating like our divisional rivals at home. We did lose a couple times to Washington at home, but I'm pretty confident since we do have home field advantage that we will beat Washington. Not by much, though. I still think we're going to beat Washington, but it's going to be literally by 3 points. I predicted that it's going to be 27-24. LA Rams. I think the LA Rams have just gotten nothing but better. They obviously have their MVP just candidate in, which obviously he didn't win MVP, but he should have. If I remember, I think I think A Rod won his MVP. But Cooper Cup bringing back Matthew Stafford on an extension, bringing players like Bobby Wagner to the team. I just this defense is scary, and I just don't see the Cowboys being able to contend against LA. So this is going to be yet again another loss for the Cowboys, 34-17. I think this is going to be a killer loss, no matter if we have home field advantage or not. I just don't see us beating the Rams. Philadelphia Eagles, which is going to be at Philly, which is very tough. Yet again, I think this is going to be a close game. but I just don't see the Cowboys going into Philly and creating an upset. I'm not saying we haven't done it before, but I just don't see us doing it. And especially with the firepower of Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, if he could develop and that O line stays healthy, the Eagles are a force to be reckoned with. And I think we're going to go into Philly and lay an egg. I think the Cowboys are going to lose um, by a touchdown. I predict Philly 30, Dallas 23. Detroit Lions, we do kind of have a lighter schedule later on. I think we could be pretty, but yet again, I've seen times where we're like, oh, this should be a simple win, and the Detroit Lions somehow pull it out. I don't see the Detroit Lions pulling it out against Dallas. I think the Detroit Lions are still in the rebuilding phase. I think they have a lot of potential, some pieces there, but I just don't think that team is fully formidable to make a run at anything, um, and let alone have the talent enough to beat Dallas. So I see Dallas formidably beating the Detroit Lions 34 to 17. Chicago Bears is the next team. And this is another one that I just don't. It's kind of similar with the Detroit Lions. I just don't see, the the Bears being really a contender. Nor really have the firepower or talent to really kind of fight with the Cowboys. We have brought in some pieces with this team. We lost some pieces, but we didn't bring back some pieces. And I just don't see the Bears rivaling. So yet again, I think this is another win in the book for the Dallas Cowboys. I could see them winning against the Chicago Bears 30 to 20. If this was in Dallas, I probably would say that we win. But we are not going to have a miracle like the last time when Dak was a rookie and go into Lambeau Field and defeat Aaron Rodgers. That's just not going to happen. If Aaron Rodgers was not on this roster and we had Jordan Love, I would have a lot more confidence going into Lambeau beating them. But it's not Jordan Love, it's Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Aaron had lost Devontae Adams. There are some pieces that are gone from that team, but that team is not bad by any means. They still are run by a very good head coach. They still have their star quarterback, and they still have pieces on that defense that are going to make a contention for the playoffs. I don't see the Cowboys going to Lambeau winning this game. I see Green Bay Packers beating the Dallas Cowboys 27 to 17. One is a very toss-up game. I've always there's just some of these games that you just don't really know, and the Minnesota Vikings is one of those. Minnesota Vikings show flashes that they can win and be a playoff contention team, and then they just show flashes when you need them in the big game, they fumble the bag. We did beat Minnesota this previous season when we had Cooper Rush in. I just don't think we'll be lucky this time. I think yet again it's going to be a close game. I think literally the Minnesota Vikings are going to edge it by a field goal, and I think Minnesota is going to win 27 to 24. Giants. I usually do the same thing with each divisional rivals. It's kind of the same thing. If you could dominate against your divisional rivals, you can pretty much guaranteed because your divisional rivals are 2 games each. That's right there, just 6 games alone. So if you can win those 6 games, you have pretty much secured yourself a formidable chance of winning the division. But I always do it be fair that one team will win one game and the other team will win the next game. So the Cowboys did beat the Giants the last game, and I think the Cowboys will lose this game against the Giants. I could see the Giants beating the Cowboys by a touchdown, 27-20, in Week 12 on Thanksgiving. The Cowboys have had some bad games against Thanksgiving, and I think that road's going to continue. The Indianapolis Colts is another one that I just don't know, and yet again, I just had a very, very trouble feeling. But I don't know. I just have this feeling deep inside that Matt Ryan is actually going to really do good in Indianapolis. And I just do not see a scenario where Dallas is going to beat Indianapolis. They could if our defense really disrupts what Matt Ryan does. I could see us doing it. But yeah, think this is going to be another loss for Dallas. I think they're going to lose 30 to 20. Yet again, this is another one that's a toss up. But yeah, I just don't see the Cowboys beating the Indianapolis Colts. Texas shootout, the classic, the Houston Texans versus the Dallas Cowboys. I still think the Cowboys are going to beat the Houston Texans. I don't think they got enough pieces yet again. They're kind of similar with the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. I just don't think they have enough pieces yet to contend against a team like the Cowboys. I'm not saying they can't win, but I just don't see them having that formidable power that the Cowboys have. This is, I think, another game that the Cowboys are going to win 27-14. Go to Week 15 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yet again, I think the Jaguars are going to be better this year. I actually hope really Trevor Lawrence becomes a competitor for his year two, because his rookie season was horrible. But I think he has a lot of potential to do good this year. And I actually will give the Jaguars some fairness, and I think they'll put up some points and have some contention. I think, yet again, Dallas will still win this game. Um, I give Jacksonville 24, Dallas 34. Then in week 16, when Philly has to come to us, usually the Cowboys are good at home against divisional rivals, such as an opponent like Philly. So if Philly won one at home, I think we'll win one at home. I could see the Cowboys yet again winning by a touchdown. It's going to be, to me, Dallas Cowboys 31, Philadelphia Eagles 24. Be pretty confident saying that the Cowboys will beat the Tennessee Titans against them. Tennessee Titans lost A.J. Brown. Ryan Tannehill, I think, to me, is regressing. Um, it's really gonna, and I mean, you can only feed Henry for so many times. He can only carry so much workload and that team. So I just don't see the Titans having the momentum this year. I see Tennessee Titans 20, Dallas Cowboys 30. Then Commanders. As I think I've already has stated, Washington had won their game against us. I think we'll win the second game against Washington. My score prediction this time is I think Carson Wentz is inconsistent at best sometimes. I could see this game going either way, but my score prediction for the last game is Washington Commanders 17, Dallas Cowboys 27. And that total record goes to 8-9, which is not a good record by any means. And yet again, it's tough because a lot of these games are toss ups. And you never know. The Cowboys could dominate all their divisional games. But in the reality of football, you can't really accurately predict which games they'll win and which games they lose. So at the end of the day, I know some people will call me a hypocritical Cowboy fan and say, like, oh, how could you say that we'll go 8-9? You're not a Cowboy fan. I'm just telling the truth as it is. There are some of these games that, yes, I can give you a clear indication that we'll win. And then there's just some of them, and it's like, I don't know, that team could be better than us. And that's the instance with this schedule with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys have a lot of tough games. Um, None of these matchups are going to be easy by any means. And this is a kind of a prove it year. Like, the Cowboys have been nothing but the laughingstock for the previous years. And this is the first time they can have an opportunity to have somewhat of some consistency to win. So, Dallas, now is your shot. Like, it's now or never. Like, so if you can win these primetime games, then you not only formidable yourself as a contender, but you can formidable yourself as a potential Super Bowl winner. You got to win these big primetime games to go win the Super Bowl. That's just the brutal reality of this game. So, comment down below what you think is the Cowboys schedule this year. Obviously, we're all going to disagree with certain things, but agree with other things. So please comment down below what you think the record prediction is going to be for the Dallas Cowboys. And this is your host, Ted Stuckson, signing out. Peace.